No matter what I do, I can't shut up about this. I can't keep this quiet anymore. I had to show this picture. Because now we got a blatant. Because the last one wasn't blatant. This one, I've just decided why not. But I just don't know why you want scary, man. Like I just don't know why people want scary so quickly. They love scary. This is really scary. This is beyond scary. As silly as this is drawn, we'll start with the top, right? The top is obviously scary, um, because, of course, you're ready for this, right? Mario 64. Okay, so the top. Here's a relatable one, right? This one's not as scary as the bottom one, though. Isn't that's where we get at this? Um, the top is obviously a poorly scratched drawing by me, but it's to get around copyrights, you know. All you need to know is the world. You'll know the world I'm talking about, wet, dry world, right? Up in the sky with all the towers and everything. Now, there's several videos on this. Of course, there's several videos. That's why I say it doesn't compare to the bottom, right? Um, the it's very confusing. The video of like the picture in Mario 64, the atmosphere. There's so many things in Wet Dry World, but why do we like talk about these little towers up above, right? Well, when we kind of dumb down the drawing, when we kind of dumb down and don't make them look like the buildings, because in the game they look like real buildings, like real human buildings, right? But when we dumb it down, we see something a little out there, and you're kind of like, well, why would you show it like this? Um, I wanted to show it like this because the bottom thing. You don't believe in the bottom thing right at the bottom. You don't believe that being in the Mario 64 game, but it actually is. This is in the Mario 64 game, and I'll tell you where you can find it, the spot, and where it's at. So, when you get to the pyramid, yeah, look how crazy this is. This is scary. When you get to the pyramid in Mario 64, um, and then you're just gonna go around, and you're gonna go around, and you're gonna go climb poles. Yeah, right. Climb the ceiling. Yeah, get past that. Um, the only reason I've discovered this recently is because all the enemy types were. I was just having fun with like looking at the enemy types, and I was like, oh man, the enemy types are there for another video, but man, they are interesting. But then you had the one enemy type up there, which is the steamroller. Like not the blocks, the steamroller. You know who I'm talking about? He's the only roller in that. He's up there, and then you have the door. Okay, so you have the door. You're supposed to go in the door because that's the only way you can get you could get past them probably by doing of course other Mario tricks like jumps, dash jumps, and all that. But or yeah, just dash jump, wall bounce. You could do that too, or just get squashed by and walk by him, that kind of thing. But like you're meant for the door. So the whole thing behind the door. Okay, now I cannot believe you guys want scary stuff like this. The door inside the door is this picture at the bottom. Okay, and I don't even know why it's like if you're gonna try and take a picture of it, good luck. You can't. I think you can take a picture of it at the door, but when you do take a picture of it, the camera will blur it out, and you won't be able to it will just look like a bunch of pixels or something like that. But if you record the video, you can obviously just look at it and then see it, then you record the video. Now it's so crazy when you simplify it too, because you'd be like, oh well, I like the wet dry world. You'd be like, I like wet dry world, but Wet Dry World's good, but it's like it's fan. I just can't believe it. It's all fan stuff. Wet Dry World is kind of like I wouldn't say lustful, but it's kind of like eye seeing. It's kind of like you keep going back to Wet Dry World. You know, and there's people that like the desert. They do, because apparently some people claim they think there's a animation with the pyramid. They think there's an animation with the pyramid because of file digging. But that's another thing. I can't repeat it enough. You have to play the game. You cannot dig the files of the game. You could dig it, but it's not really telling you anything. It's not telling you anything. It's I don't know why. It just doesn't want to tell you anything. But then you get this thing right here. And hey, thank gosh that when you draw this thing, what I did when I drew it, that I just scratched it, right? Because this is a powerful image, man. For as stupid as it is, it's a powerful image. I mean, look, it has everything, It has all the things we've been talking about in the first video. I think the Kate video set it up pretty too good. I can't believe I set this up good with the Kate video, because Kate was kind of like, when you see like crazy video game secrets, when you see like a Masingo, or when you see like just like black hole or anything like that. This one was way too scary. Way too scary, dude. Oh my gosh, this was scary. I don't know why this was so like. Oh man, it was a launch game, and I don't know. Other people wanted to play Wave Race on the 64, which is a fun game, and it does have some stuff. But you always want Mario 64. You just want Mario 64, and this video will come off really mean by me, because it's like, why have you not shown this? I'm really offended by this one, because, like I've told you, this Shadow of Colossus secret was very good, and it is still very good. It's very good, but like the Mario 64, just like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting in a good way, because Mario 64 just loves to be like that. You know how Mario 64 is if you've played it. And if you have not played Mario 64, newsflash, that's a choice you need to think about. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. I mentioned in my past videos about like, stupid stuff, right? What I mean by stupid genius is it's so out there. Of course, getting into like, because it's in the ceiling area, not the ceiling area, but it's on the top area of the pyramid. And as you all know, if you click on different stars, you kind of change some things in the pyramid also. Dude, I was angry at this video. I really was. Like I in a good way. It's a very good Mario 64 and Shadow of Colossus, very good games. This will make you mad in a different way. Like it'll make you mad how scary it is, because the first video that I showed of Shadow of Colossus, once again, I'm just going to say this is fan art. Oh, I like Wet Dry World, I like Wet Dry World, and probably even Mario 64, I really don't rank it. I rank it somewhere, but I don't rank it enough to what I've seen from the sand level. And if you notice, the sand level is right next to the fire level, so, I just don't like, because it comes off as like a useless door in Mario 64, doesn't it? It just comes off like a useless door. Comes off like, oh, who cares if I get run over by the roller? I just want to go and get the star or whatever. So it just comes off like there's nothing in that door, but there is something in that door. And a while back, I made this crazy video, and I've still worked on the project about doors, because I want to save the doors for later, because when you talk about doors, oh my gosh, it makes you sound like, even this right here makes you sound not psycho, but it makes you sound like something else. But like the doors, I was furniture, right? There's so many things on furniture, man. Furniture is creation. The doors, like when a video game specifically makes a door and they add a door to a game that you don't think like a door would impact, because if you play the old Marios, there was mainly like castle doors. There just wasn't like a door, like a furniture door. And you have Lifetime movies, you have all kinds of stuff. Res Yeah, Lifetime movies. I don't know which Lifetime movie to recommend. I only know of one. And that one, I have to like look up that title. But then there's I want to look up the title to that one, but that one's really hard to find. There's way too many Lifetime movies, of course, right? A lot of Lifetime movies, for sure, for sure. Just movies you wouldn't pay attention to. And then they have like Resident Evil 7 with them just... Resident Evil 7's just kind of paying a tribute to Mario, and to all kinds of other stuff. Just Mario, basically Mario. Yeah, basically Mario 64. But, I think it's also that you can just decorate your home like that, which is, it's kind of like a cool prop thing. It's called, yo, this prop is your life, like if the Mario 64 and Shadow Colossus thing, I also, the reason this video is, to me, it's like, it's sloppy, but it has to be here. Like, I have to do it because I do find it sloppy, because there's other things I could be talking about when comparing Shadow of Colossus and Mario 64, right? Like when seeing the similarities, there's probably some other things I could do, of course. But there's this specifically was like, well, and trust me, it's not friendly when you find it in Mario 64. It's not really it was not really friendly finding this. It was because it's kind of like you're playing hours of Shadow of Colossus, but Mario, this whole time, Mario 64, old game. We're talking old game, because yes, Mario 64 is an old game now. And this whole time, Mario 64 was just like laughing, and then laughing again, and then laughing again. And what did you really expect? I mean, Team Ico, we all know they worked on Star Fox, and of course they worked on Mario 64. We know it. We know that the Team Ico, when they were like with the whole 3D project development, that they were doing it, and but it's even like Mario 64's is so... It has a different vibe to it. It has a very different vibe to it. But, with the first video I showed you about the Shadow of Colossus stuff, and then I show you this right here, you're just like, oh my gosh, what? You're like, no! No! Super scary. Screw calling it Super Mario 64. Just super, super scary. Super, super scary. But I mean, reality is, it's always been really scary. I mean, like what, the two Star Fox videos have been scary for years. They're always rewatched in different ways. The two videos of the two different secret levels. That's always a rewatch thing. Masingo's a rewatch thing that's scary. And this right here just hits as mysterious. It hits really hard because then you're just like, well, if Mario 64 is showing this, what else is Mario 64 showing? Dude, Mario 64 is a layout of like games and games and games and different games. Dude, Mario 64 is insane. The minute you try to go to some other 64 games or you try to be like, I've had enough playing Mario, you just go back into Mario 64. Mario 64 says to you, look, I'm a pretty game. A very, very, very pretty game. I'm very advanced. In that's what's scary about like details. Now, of course, at the bottom, you're probably going to be wondering with like letters. You're going to be wondering with symbols. You're going to be wondering with all kinds of things, right? And now you're also probably going to be wondering why I'm waiting in a future video just to give the full out answer to this, right? The reason I'm waiting for that is because I want to say it in a good way because the developers worked really hard on this. And like you just like look at the bottom of that, right? And you're just like instantly, what do you think of? You think of so many things. You could like right off the bat, you could think Enemy Zero, right? You could think Shin Megami Tensei. You could think so many things out of this little thing right here. And it just, you could think pop culture with this. And I know that sounds like ridiculous, but yes, you could think of actual pop culture of somebody's hands and people that that have hands like has like the shoulders and the arms and the hands just being like that, So this is clearly like brainology, those super brain thinking things. And it's kind of funny how it's just easily found in Mario 64. No, you will not need to glitch the game if you want to go and see this. Isn't that the cool part? You will not need to go and glitch the game. You will just go up there and you can just go to the door. You're going to go inside the door, okay? You're going to be in the door, and then you're just going to zoom up. I'm telling you, it's insane. It's insane. It was one of my favorite levels too because of I love the sign. The signs are really hard puzzles too, by the way. All the signs you can read in Mario 64, all of them are really hard puzzles. And maybe that's the only reason I was able to find this, okay? The only reason I was probably able to find this is because I was reading the sign, and the sign was crazy, man. That sign was nuts. And it was because a long time ago, I was too focused on Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I never completed Mario 64, and then I jumped back into it, and I was like, oh no, the sign. I don't know. Wet Dry World was like so obvious, right? And you're probably isn't that crazy that Wet Dry World's up and all of its square textures were exactly just a square texture layout to the pyramid level in a way, because the pyramid level has everything of what a door would be designed, right? Like, because even though those look like steps right there to the top left of that drawing, you would have steps on both sides, and then that'd be your door, You'd have like two layouts, and then you'd have the 3D modeled door, and then you'd have the door that you'd go into. Have I... do I ever want to break down the steamroller, because the steamroller is up there? That's for future, because I have an actual like gameplay video thing too. But I don't know. With Nintendo, sometimes you have to get on that Nintendo program, but hopefully since Mario 64 is such an old game, they'll let me show you this video. If not, I'll just have to, sign up for the Nintendo whatever loyalty program or, do that. But see how I've made it mysterious too. Like even though I've talked about like the arms on the top of that thing, I've made it still mysterious. Do that respect because one, it's two video games we're talking about. We're talking about Mario 64 and Shadow of Colossus. We're specifically talking about Shadow of Colossus though to get the picture in your head, you know, because just saying out the future video, because the future video, when we finally start to click with this and we talk about this stuff, then it will make sense. But if we decide to ignore what this is and we decide not to pay attention to anything about this, it will not translate. It just won't translate. But it's kind of crazy that I have literally artwork and a symbol of, you know what I'm saying? I fan arted it too. If you see at the bottom, I fan arted it by by shading and all kinds of things. And then my favorite thing is, oh, hey, I just draw a stick figure, you know? I drew a stick figure. And it is kind of interesting to see, too, because I'm telling you, you're going to have to focus on it for a bit because the little shadings, you know, you're going to have to wait until the little shadings just, like, load until you see that stick figure. Okay? So they do that, so I guess that's a loophole of you not taking a picture of it in game, but you could just, like I said, record the video and just keep focus on it, and then you'll see it. But why is it so scary? Why is it so scary? Because it's like it's a door, and you know the doors in the pyramid have all the tile bricks. So the tile bricks, but they have so many different bricks you're looking at. You're not like really looking at that door. Okay, you're not really looking at the door. The first way that Mario 64 was, like, I guess brought out, because at the time you'd have to be at the time to be playing Mario 64, because it was like a 3D game, just like Croc. There's Croc, that was a 3D game, but I think they were doing it for the gamers who wanted just to learn what a 3D game and how to play a 3D game, because playing the 3D game is way different from playing the 2D game, and that's like the Mario 64 thing is like if I could like say anything with this Mario 64 and Shadow of Colossus thing, it would be like, you know, but it's kind of like, well, so it's like, I don't know. I mean, there's different similarities in there, but I feel like just like rushing it out. I do find I find it very evil too. Like I find it very evil in a good way, like evil, mysterious. Enemy Zero, I mentioned to you, is just a very like one of those games that a lot of people pay attention to. Soul Hackers, a game that a lot of people pay attention to. Kayuka. People definitely play the Kayuku, and they love showing you off Kayuku. Smart people. But it's only if you're meeting a smart person, they will show you Kayuku. So I think it's called Kayara, but they call it Kayuku. I don't know. It's it's another Shin Megami Tensei game. It's like, but dude, I honestly did love it though. People would show me stuff that they should never show me, because as soon as I figure out something, I'll figure it out. It'll take me a bit, but I will figure it out, and nobody will figure it out, but I will definitely figure it out. I will be like, oh, okay, whatever. And I find the pyramid level very scary. I really do, because all the stuff that you're stuck in and you're boxed in with, and then that sign, the odd atmosphere. I think it like talks about darkness or something. I forget what it says word for word, but on that sign, and then you're just like in the pyramid, and then you're just but people are always like, man, what dry world, like, that's a typical answer. They would even probably they would avoid maybe talking about like the rabbit too. I really do like the rabbit, but that's for a future video with the rabbit. um isn't it crazy too, like you're talking about like Mario 64 stuff, but you're actually like I'm showing you this for the Shadow of Colossus thing, right? I am not telling you I'm telling you a bunch of Mario 64 things to make something easy to understand in Shadow of Colossus. And that that's just way too scary, man. That's like two different games, two different platforms, two different ideas. It's I can tell you one thing: the guy that does this, because game developers are smart, they're really smart people, and good luck finding them. They can be like on any platform. Like I'm telling you, like the Kate thing kind of made me laugh because it's a phone game, phone game, and you know how many people love their cell phones, right? You just love your cell phone, and imagine that the cell phone would be giving you a free game, I haven't even played the new Doom phone game that they apparently got, that Doom phone game, but I'm probably going to check that out later. But I had to show this first, of course.